Everybody going? This is your girl Reg coming to you from Perth, and you know how it is, okay? This is our Motivational Midway Wednesday, MMW, and thank you for joining me. You know what? Life is good, God is great, situation are awesome. When you go through a situation in life, it does three things to you, okay? You become unbeatable, unbreakable, and undefeatable. Unbeatable, unbreakable, and undefeatable. The three U's, okay? They make you, they make you, they make you. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. So what are we talking about today? Okay. So the topic for today is called Get Your Hands Off. Get Your Hands Off. And the subtitle for that is Recovering from Sexual Abuse. Wow. Reg, really? Upon everything, this is what you want to talk about? Wow, yeah. Yeah, this is what I really want to talk about, okay? It's about time we start talking about stuff like this. It's about time we start letting the cat out, okay? It's about time we stop, putting things under the carpet and putting roses on top of them and pretending like everything is fine, okay? Your life might be fine, okay? Your life is perfect. Everything is going out for you. You don't need this right now. You don't need to talk about this because you know what? You have gone through it and you managed to survive. But guess what? We need to talk about it. You might have survived this, but somebody is going through this right now who need to hear this. Or someone had gone through it before, but yet still they haven't been able to find recovery. They haven't been able to talk about it, and they have had to take that pain with them. That memories, those nightmares with them for years and years and years. I am talking to that somebody this morning. Somebody hear me. It's about time you speak up, okay? It's about time you set yourself free, you set your mind free, and you live your life, because as long you haven't talked about this, you are still going to be in bondage and you're still going to be tormented for a very long time. All right, so why do we need to talk about this? Okay, thank you for asking. I will tell you. The reason why we need to talk about sexual abuse is because we need to ensure a safety community amongst our children. Okay, we need to ensure safety amongst our community and amongst our children. We need to eradicate inappropriate sexual misconduct within the community. All right, we need to encourage victims who have experienced sexual abuse to speak out. All right, we need to stop naming people. We need to stop shaming people, especially the victims who have been sexually abused before, or those who have been sexually abused. We need to come to the place as a community where we stop the name calling, we stop shaming them, we stop judging them, we stop labeling them, or we stop doing the blame game where we think it's their fault of what happened to them is their fault. Okay, we need to build a confidential, safe, and non-judgmental environment where the people who've been sexually abused before can speak up. Okay, they can freely speak and not feel judged and not feel blamed. All right, this is why we have to talk about these things. All right, so what is sexual abuse? Okay, sexual abuse is when you force somebody, you pressure them, or you trick them into having sexual things that they do not want to do. Okay, it can also be known as sexual assault. What is sexual assault? Sexual assault is when you have unconsented sex with somebody. All right, so these are two different things, and I want you to understand that. Sexual assault is not the same as sexual abuse. Sexual abuse, you're forcing the person, you're pressuring them, and you're tricking them into having sexual things that they do not want to do. Sexual assault, however, is when you have unconsented sex with somebody, when they haven't consented you. Okay, so what do we classify as sexual abuse? Sexual abuse can be classified as rape. When you force somebody into having unwanted sex or sexual acts with you. It can also be classified as indecent assault. What is indecent assault? Having inappropriate behavior to somebody before, during, and after an assault. All right. It can also be classified as child sex abuse or assault. What is child sex abuse or assault. This is what a lot of people, especially people from a diverse background, have experienced. Okay, they've experienced being molested as children. They experienced being assaulted and abused when they were children, and they couldn't open up to anybody. They couldn't speak about it because they're afraid, or the abusers threaten that if you say anything, this is going to happen to you. Okay, so child sex abuse or assault is when you use force or power to get a child involved in sexual activities, and after that you threaten them not to tell anybody, or you will harm them. It can also be classified as incest. Okay, incest is when someone is being sexually abused by a relative or a family member. All right, and this is something most people from the culturally diverse background will understand. Okay, let's say 90% of cases where the child is abused, the child know the abusers. Okay, so that means this is somebody who is close, of a relative, a family member, a friend of their parents, or a friend of their friend. Okay, it can also be classified as sexual molestation. So these lists that I've listed below can be classified as sexual abuse. So, what is the consented age for sex in Australia? Okay, in Australia, in Western Australia, in New South Wales, in Victoria, and the Northern Territory, the consented age for sexual activities is when a child is 16. Okay, and in South Australia and Tasmania is 17 years old. All right, so having sexual activities with a minor or someone who is below the consented age is wrong, and it is illegal. Okay, so the person the victim is not on the wrong. You, the adult who is having sexual activities with this person, you are on the wrong, and it is illegal. All right, even though they've consented you to have sexual activities with them, do not do it because they are below the consented age, and it is wrong. All right, even if you are in a relationship whereby your sexual partner is forcing you or putting pressure on you to have sexual activities with them, that's also wrong. Why? Because they are not respecting you or your feelings. Okay, so you have the right to refuse. So let's talk about rape, for example. Why do people go through these things and not talk about it? I'm interested to know, especially people from where I come from. Okay, people from Africa, and I'm pretty sure there are also people in different part of the world. Especially those who are from a culturally diverse background. Okay, why do they go through these things? Why are they sexually abused, sexually molested, or sexually assaulted, that they can't talk about it? First of all, before I even go to that point, let me tell you a bit about what sexual molestation is. Sexual molestation is a term that refers to an abuse that happened to young children. Okay, sexual molestation is a term which refers to the abuse that happened to young children. So what is sexual molestation? Sexual molestation is when you force a child to touch you inappropriately. Okay. Sexual molestation is also when you touch a child inappropriately. It can also be known as, forcing the child to perform oral sex. Okay, or forcing a child to watch an adult masturbate and do sexual things that they shouldn't be seeing. So these are classified as sexual molestation. So why do people go through this and not talk about it? Okay, and they don't want anybody to know. It's a good thing. All right, the reason why people go through these things and not talk about them is because of us. When I mean us, because firstly they are ashamed of what has happened to them. They are ashamed, and secondly they have a lot of disbelief. Why me? Why this happened to me? And thirdly is because they don't trust us to keep that information. Okay, they don't trust you, they don't trust me to keep that information. Okay, because we haven't created an environment where they can speak out. Okay, they feel like, okay, if I tell this person, they're going to judge me. Another reason why they don't talk about these things is because sometimes the abuser will threaten them, like, if you tell anybody this is going to happen to you, I'm going to do this to you. In fact, they won't believe you, and I will tell them it's your fault, and sometimes also they feel guilty that, you know what, this has happened to me because of what I did or because of something. That's why they don't talk about it. Another reason is because they don't want to feel judged. Okay, they don't want to feel like, okay, after they told you, you'll go like, okay, you know what, the reason why you're going through that, the reason why you've been raped, the reason why you've been sexually abused is because of you. Hey, it's because of the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you dance. That's the reason why you got abused. Stop doing that, okay? Let me tell you that people who have been abused, it's not your fault. Listen to me. If you've been abused before, sexually molested, it is not your fault that you got abused. It is not your fault that you got sexually molested. It has nothing to do with you, okay? Stop blaming yourself. Don't think that it's your fault. It's not your fault, all right? If you are in an environment where, you can't speak up because of this, because you feel like, okay, your community people are too sentimental or they're too righteous, and you feel like you really need to talk to somebody, go outside of your community and talk to somebody who don't know you, okay? Because very often, African people, other cultural people, people who are from other culture, they are very good in judging people, okay? They are very good in placing something on something. Okay, that happened to you because of you. It is not good. All right, stop doing that. Stop the name calling, okay? Stop the shaming, stop the labeling, stop the judgmental act, because these people have had to carry these burdens with them for so many years. And do you ever wonder why someone, especially in the African community, okay, someone who has been sexually molested or abused when they were children, do you wonder why they couldn't talk about it then? And they haven't even talked about it through adulthood, okay? They had to take that on for so many years, and until now, they haven't been able to speak up about it. Why? Okay? So, guys, we need to create a comfortable environment, okay? You need to be able to keep your mouth to yourself, okay? When somebody tells you something, you have no business telling somebody who it doesn't concern. It is your responsibility to protect that person, to protect their integrity, and to protect whatever it is they've told you. Or else, guess what? We will have so many people dying in our community, so many people suffering in our community, so many people going through pain and hardship in our community. But yesterday, they would rather not talk about it, because you know what? They don't want to be judged by you after everything they've gone through, after all the pain, all the sleepless nights, all the times where they couldn't sleep. They will cry themselves to sleep, and then after that they come and tell you, and then all of a sudden you're going telling sister A, sister B, brother A, brother B, and before you know, everybody in the community know that this person had gone through that situation. We need to stop that, okay? Wake up and save lives. The only way you can save somebody's life is when you keep your mouth shut, okay? The only way you can save somebody's life is that when you create an environment where it is confidential, where you can protect the privacy, you can protect the secret, and you can protect whatever it is they've told you. And for mothers, or for mothers who are in a situation where you know that your child is being sexually abused, but you would rather turn away or close your eyes because you want a relationship. Stop it. Wake up and grow up, okay? Wake up and protect your child. And hear me on this, okay? I am not trying to pick on anybody. I am just saying, because this situation are live, okay? They do happen and they are existing right now. For mothers or for parents who know that your children or your child is being sexually abused or molested, but yet still you close your eye because you want the relationship or the marriage, you need to stop it and you need to wake up. Do you know how many times that child had to go to sleep at night crying, and asking, where is my mother or my father? Why is this happening to me? Do you know how many times, they want you to hold them when they go through that stuff, but you are not there? Do you know how many times they get tormented, they get nightmare, they watch the bruises on their skin, but they're waiting for mama to protect them? They're waiting for their dad to protect them, but hey, guess what? You are not around. You are not there to protect them. You turn a blind eye. You are not there to comfort them. You are not there to shield them as you should have. Do you know how many times, and do you know how that feels? Okay? You need to grow up. You need to step in. You need to protect your children. You need to protect them. You need to protect them, because guess what? If you don't protect them, nobody is going to protect them. It is your responsibility and it's your right. Okay, so how do somebody recover from sexual abuse, molestation, and assault? Well, I always say to people, talk about it. All right? Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Okay, and it is very hard, very often. Talk about it until you feel good. Okay, and many a times the perception of victims who have been sexually abused and assaulted is that it's my fault. No, it's not your fault. All right, it is not your fault. And I will just put this out there: 1 in 7 girls is abused. Okay, 1 in every 7 girl is abused, and 1 in every 25 boys is abused. Okay, so this is something that happens almost every day, and you don't know who that's going to happen to. All right, so you need to build your children up. You need to build yourself up. When you realize that somebody is being sexually abused, you need to step in. All right, thank you for asking. What are the symptoms of sexual abuse? Okay, how do I know that my child is being sexually abused or sexually molested? Well, there are some physical signs, and some of them is, in some cases, the child will have difficulty standing or walking. The child will have unexplained bruises on them, or bruises on the genital area. Okay, and there will be times when they will experience bleeding. Okay, and as in some cases they will have sexual transmitted infection. So these are and there are many more signs and symptoms that are physical that you can see. And what are the non-physical signs? Okay, this is, what are the non what about the non-physical signs, the invisible signs? How do you know it? Thank you. I mean, sometimes you'll see a sudden change in behavior. Okay, this child will be very good. All of a sudden, they will have a sudden change in behavior. They will show signs of depression. They'll be wet in the bed very often, although they never used to do that, but they will start wetting the bed. They will be withdrawing, from activities or things they like doing. And there are times where they'll feel guilty, like everything is happening to me because of me. And there will be times where they will be experiencing self-mutilation. Okay, self-mutilation. And also they will have problems in school. If your child was very bright, all of a sudden they'll become very poor, and they'll start having trouble with grades, low grades, and they'll have trouble with discipline in school. If the teacher is trying to discipline them because of something, they'll have problem with that, and they'll put it on act. And there are also some psychosomatic symptoms, such as having stomach ache, having headaches, and also having trouble sleeping. So these are the signs you can watch out for. Just so you know, okay, one sign doesn't mean that a child is being abused. These signs are normally accompanied by another. Okay, just to be clear, because your child is wet in the bed doesn't mean they're being abused. These signs and symptoms are normally accompanied by one another. All right, so these are the signs that parents can look out for. All right, so how do somebody recover from being abused? Talk about it. Okay, talk about it to somebody. Find a trustee, someone that you trust, a family member, a friend, a community youth, or a worker, or your spiritual leader, somebody you look up to, a counselor. Talk to somebody about it. Talk to them about what you've gone through. Also, seek medical help by your psychological and emotional well-being. Okay, seek professional help. Seek someone outside of your community that don't know you. Also, trust yourself. Okay, don't blame yourself that it's my fault that this is happening to me. Trust yourself. Trust your instinct. That this. I'm talking about someone who is older right now. Okay. Children will not know this, but someone who is in adulthood and you're being sexually molested or abused, trust yourself, like, what, this is not my fault, and I need to seek help, and I need to seek medical help, I need to seek professional help, I need to talk to a friend about it. Okay, children normally will not do this, but adults who have been abused or who are being abused, you can do these things. Okay, so when doing this research, I found some sources that I think can help, and one of them is called reachout.com. Okay, they have a lot of informations on there on how to assist people who are being abused or who have been abused. Okay, another one is called blueknocked.com. So what this foundation does, Blue Knocked Foundation, what it does is that it provides email based and phone based, support to survivors of sexual abuse who are experiencing trauma. Okay, so they also provide support for the people who are supporting you and also the professionals who are working with you. So their phone number is 1-300 657 it's 380. Okay, 1-300-657-380. Another one is called Brave Hearts. So Brave Hearts is a website or foundation that they can provide information and support relating to child sexual assault. Okay, so the number is 1-800-272-831. 1-800-272-831. And this one is also important. So it's called Living Well app. Living Well app. So this app is designed for men. So men who've been sexually molested or sexually abused, you can download this app on your phone and reach out to the people. So what this app is about is that it provide assistance to men who've been sexually abused as children when they were in their childhood, and it provides phone-based, and web-based counseling to these men, and just to help you deal with the trauma and to move on. So guys, all right, this is it for today. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, all right, we need to we as a community, it is our responsibility to protect our children, to protect our loved ones. All right, and I know that some of you had gone through this experience before, but you are still afraid to open up about it. You're still afraid to talk to somebody about it. Why don't you take a step? Okay, why don't you take a step today and free yourself, okay, and free your psychological, and your psychological mind, and free your thinking. Okay, take a step forward. Talk about it. It's okay. Okay, you're safe. You're in a safe place. You're in a safe environment. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Nobody's gonna do anything to you. If you have to open up to your mother today and tell them, like, what, that family member assaulted me or abused me or molested me when I was a child, you need to take that step and open up to your mother. You need to open up to your parents. You need to open up to your friends. You need to open up to people that you trust about it, because your well-being comes first. If you don't open up, guess what? You are going to lose great relationships. Okay, relationships that are meant to benefit you, things that are meant to benefit you, you are going to lose them because the fear is still going to be there. You will not be able to trust people. You will not be able to let people in, people who love you, people who want to help you, people who want to assist you. Okay, so it's going to rob you of a lot of things, a lot of good things in life, and you will be self-isolated in your mind, in yourself, and in your body. And that's not something you want to do. After going through that process, you want to live a life where you have peace, you have joy, and you are fulfilled. So the best way to recover from that, and the best way to set yourself free is to make this first step. Okay, reach out to somebody and talk to them. Seek professional help. Okay, seek medical help. Trust yourself. And for children, mothers, you need to watch out. Okay, you need to protect your children. You don't know who the offender is. Like I said, in 90% cases of child sex abuse, the child or the victim know the abusers. Okay, all right, thank you so much for joining me, guys. This is MMW Motivational Midway Wednesday. I hope you guys have fun, and hey guys, you will see me next week. All right, thank you so much. It was lovely chatting with you guys. Beautiful. Okay, bye.